Well, gentlemen, we are here. We've arrived. After 37 weekends and midweeks of football, we've arrived at the final week of the Premier League season. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. This is the final preview of the Premier League season on Red Card Radio. My name is James. I support Arsenal. That guy up top is Brad. He supports Chelsea. Down below is Sean. He supports Tottenham. Boys, I hope you're doing well. I'm a little melancholy because we're going to have to wait a couple months for Premier League football after this weekend. And that always makes me feel a little bit down. I feel like I've lost my tail.
Don't feel down, James. Don't feel down. There's no reason to feel down because we've got Monaco next weekend. Will be.
You mean after Monaco? Isn't it right now? Isn't it this weekend?
It'll be this weekend. The weekend following that is going to be Barcelona. We've got F1 to fill your summer, so don't worry.
Yeah, true. That is a good point. And my boy George is doing pretty decently. He's all right.
Yeah,
he's in the thick of it, as they say. Not quite.
It'll just keep you distracted until August comes around.
Yes. Okay. You know what, Sean? Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Wow. That was so nice of you, Sean. You had to feel in a happy mood.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Or you're just really sad and you're hiding it really, really well. I don't know which one it is.
I'm dead inside. So.
Well, you are a Lando Norris supporter, so that checks out.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, if we're gonna dive into that, we could dive into that. But first,
before we do that,
before you do that, like, subscribe, rate, review, tell a friend. Do all of that to the podcast. Do all those things before you listen to this Lando Norris thing. Lando Norris had a great week last week because putting up P2s when you have a really unlucky race is the sign of someone who's ready to challenge for a championship. He pitted one lap before the virtual safety car last week and lost about 15 seconds of race time because of that, because everybody else got to pit under virtual safety car and he didn't.
He was
still able to.
Yeah. He was coming out of the pit lane.
It was very unfortunate.
Yes.
Very unfortunate.
It was bad.
Kept his head down, kept racing, did his thing. And I actually rewatched the race this week. Real quick, I rewatched the race. And the reason I did was I was like, let me see if McLaren would have let Lando on fresh tires past Piastri on purpose right on the restart, would he have caught Max Verstappen? And the answer is no. He still wouldn't have caught him. It wouldn't have mattered. And it wasn't because Max was that much faster. They were basically putting up the same times. And off the restart, when they do the safety car restart, the leader gets to start.
Yeah.
And Max it's so annoying, but it's legal. He's so good at the surprise start where it catches P2 off guard and he's just gone down the road and there's nothing you can do about it. Once he did that, he was about 3 seconds ahead and Lando was basically putting up the same times. So, he never would have caught him. He never would have got DRS. He never would have got slipstream. Yeah. It just would have been, they would have been putting up the same times. It'd have been 3 seconds at the end.
Yeah.
So
Max had a good race. He had a great race.
Did really, really well. There we go. All right.
There was a lot of talk about McLaren's second driver.
I thought we decided 2 years ago that we were going to stop talking about Formula One on this podcast.
We did.
Hey, you hit me with it. I got hit with it. I got to defend my boy. All right. I got to defend my boy.
I'm pretty sure you hit us with it. This was a subtle way for you to talk about.
Trying to talk about how Lando.
I just said you would get distracted over the next.
And you're right.
See, and then this happens, This guy's digging at me, and I got to defend my guy.
I mean, to be fair, Oscar has in the first 7 races been the faster driver,
but
which I think
we have week 38 to talk about.
True. Okay.
Well, I was gonna say you can tell that 2 people of this podcast do care about match week 38 because it's a very interesting week, but they have nothing on the line. Arsenal is safe in Champions League football.
Big true.
We don't know.
Tottenham are safe from relegation.
True.
We're finishing 17th.
They could have been in Europe if James was the one that predicted the match right. He probably didn't. So
We don't want to spoil anything for you guys if you guys have
yeah,
already
that's
seen it.
why.
This is a
Exactly.
spoiler-free podcast.
Spoiler-free
Yeah.
zone.
Yeah, we don't want to ruin anything for you.
There are 3.5 big matches this weekend, all starting at the same time.
I'm interested by
Yeah,
the half match. Which half of a match is interesting?
Fulham City could become interesting. Probably not, but could become interesting.
I don't know. My boys.
I don't think it's going to happen.
What are we talking? We're talking about Hale End South. Hale End South is going to put some numbers up against City.
I'm down for that. But at the same time,
so what are the
Chelsea
three?
Football Club is winning the game. So
what are the 3 interesting games, Brad?
Forest Chelsea is the spiciest one. Essentially, if Chelsea wins, they are in Champions League. If Forest wins, they have a chance to make Champions League, depending upon the next game, United Villa. If United can beat Villa and Forest somehow beats Chelsea, then Forest gets into the Champions League.
Or
I guess if Newcastle loses to Everton.
Or if Newcastle draw against Everton.
Yeah.
So Forest
needs a win and needs other results to happen.
Yeah, Forest has to win. If Forest wins, then they go above Chelsea and knock Chelsea into the Europa League. But if Villa or Newcastle fail to win, if either Newcastle, Chelsea, or Villa win, they're 2 of those 3 will be in.
2 of those 3 are in. Yes. Yeah. If Newcastle and Chelsea win,
then they
are in. Villa needs Chelsea or Newcastle to not win, and they win. Forest or draw. No, I guess, sorry. Villa needs to beat either Chelsea or Newcastle's result. Forest need to beat either Newcastle or Villa's result. So Chelsea and Newcastle have the championship, have the Champions League, have the Arsene Wenger Trophy in their control.
Hear me out, Brad.
Yeah.
Newcastle win, beat Everton. They're in.
Yep.
Nottingham Forest. Okay, Aston Villa beat United.
They're in.
Nottingham.
They may be in.
Nottingham Forest beat Chelsea by, let's say, 8 goals. Manchester City lose to Fulham by, let's say, 6 goals. I've got a world where Newcastle, Villa, and Forest are the final 3 teams in the Champions League.
And there is probably a FIFA simulation that says that happened.
It's not a 0% chance. I mean, there's
sure. There's a not 0%.
Yes, thank you. It's a not 0% chance of happening. This is what I've been hoping for the last 6 weeks, is that somehow Manchester City and Chelsea drop out of the top 5 race.
Somehow we're clinging on. But
hey, I got hope.
It is nice to know that it is in our control. We control our destiny.
Yeah.
No matter what other results happen, as long as we win, we are in. Which I think we can get done.
With a small caveat that if you win but Villa win and best you by 12 goals, then Villa would pip you. But
sure,
because there's a goal difference. That's a slight goal difference. But
small.
Essentially, Chelsea, if they win, it's a not 0% chance. That's all I'm saying. So yes, essentially Chelsea are in if they win. But the problem is that you guys have an unenviable task of going away to Forest. Forest has been a difficult place to play for teams all year, for 3 years.
Okay. But they the last win they had was against United on April 1st at home. They lost to Everton at home. They lost to Brentford at home. They drew Leicester at home. This is Chelsea Football Club, and we've only won 1 away game in 2025.
Wait, James. a very rare moment of Brad bringing facts to the party and just laying them out hard right there.
True.
I'm going to give you credit for that one.
Thank you.
It's a
Laid
fair
it out.
point. It's a fair point.
That's a fair point on Brad's part there.
They were
I
they were unlucky not to beat Leicester. I think we would all admit that they were, there was some tomfoolery there, some shenanigans that left them playing down a man essentially for the last 10 minutes when the game was tied. So they were unfortunate not to be able to have a chance to beat Leicester. But no, you're right, Brad. Over the last month, they haven't been as good at home. But I think if there's a single game in the entire season to get up for, it's the
it's going to be crazy.
The final game at home.
Let me ask you, James.
Yes.
All these games are foreseeably going to be on for you guys. They're foreseeably going to be on for me as well. Are you watching the Arsenal game knowing that the result doesn't necessarily really matter? Or are you watching that Chelsea Forest game? Because I'm going to tell you, if Tottenham's here on the main screen and I got Chelsea Forest over on the side, I'm probably doing one of these.
Don't worry.
I'm probably watching that one because that's the more interesting one.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what, Sean? I don't want to hurt anybody's neck, so the Chelsea game is going to be on the main screen, just so everybody is aware.
Well, it is your house, and so I respect your right to put Chelsea on the main screen. I'm probably going to co-opt one of Brad's computer screens and hook my phone up to it. I'm going to drag one of his computer screens from his office down into the living room, set it up on a table, connect my phone to that screen, have Arsenal there on the small 24, 27 inch, whatever size it is. But yeah, I'm going to watch the Chelsea game because that's the game that means the most. It's the most It's the most interesting game. Both teams have something to play for. You expect Newcastle to just go out there and shellac Everton, and maybe they don't. Right? Maybe they don't, and maybe they.
Hey, look, Everton's been playing well under Moyes. They're
sure, but they got their final win at home at the final game at Goodison. They're probably all thinking about Mallorca or wherever they're going to be in 3 days' time, right? So they're
with Arsenal.
What?
Same with Arsenal. They're both vibing.
Yeah, right. Arsenal don't have anything to play for other than misery for Aaron Ramsdale, right? That's. I mean, Kai Havertz probably wants to go out and score a couple goals because he's back now. Saka probably wants to go out and score a couple goals. But yeah, it doesn't matter. I think everyone in the Premier League or in Premier League adjacent circles, unless you're a Villa fan and you need to beat United, and even if you are a Villa fan, you still need a result. You still need a draw.
Yeah, you're still one eye on the other game. So you're still one eye over there.
I think all eyes are on Forest Chelsea this weekend.
I mean, that is the game of the weekend. 1,000%. It should be on everybody's.
Who would have thought if when we did our
I was just gonna say that. At the beginning of the year, you looked at Arsenal Southampton as the last game of the season. And we're like, well, that's a big nothing burger. But you probably also looked at
Forest
Chelsea, and that's a big nothing burger to end the season. And just moved on. And now here we go. And we've got Champions League implications on the line for both teams, not just for one of them.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. It would be nice if it was whoever won the game guaranteed themselves Champions League, right?
That would be wild.
Yes, but because Forest also need a little help, it could just be misery for both of them.
That's true.
How terrible would it be if
they draw?
If Forest win the game and they're like, yeah,
I think that's what it is.
We win the game, but then Villa win,
and then they don't make it,
and Newcastle win, and so they don't make. Neither one of those teams make it.
Yeah.
And
we finish a position worse than when we were with Poch.
Yeah, there is a world where Forest win the game but still don't make it, right? And this could be the most beautifully heartbreaking match to watch because it would be miserable for Chelsea fans to lose the game and be out of the Champions League. And then it would be miserable for Forest fans to be this close and do the thing you need to do on the final match day, but still it's not enough.
Apparently,
It's-
their
I-
coach
I'm-
might be leaving though. Apparently, that's the rumors. Their coach is done.
Nuno?
Nuno's gone. Yeah,
I mean-
Nuno's gone.
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, we all know the dust up that he had with the owner last week, but like even if
Yeah.
that was fully above board, like I think that this is the owner. This owner would absolutely hold it against Nuno for not being in the Champions League after the season that they've had.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
so I think that, and also they have a new sporting director of the football group. Edu Gaspar is coming in to like run all of the football clubs. And so, he might have his own idea about what he wants to do as the head coach for Nottingham Forest. It doesn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if Nuno's going to be gone.
This is crazy.
Big Ange will be available.
Hey, maybe.
Hence,
Well, it is actually an interesting
No, this
question.
is spoiler free. Spoiler free. But go ahead.
Do we think, this is a spoiler-free question, do we think if Tottenham lose on Wednesday, do you think Ange leaves the club immediately and Ryan Mason gets one game as the coach?
No.
Bro, Levy could do it. Levy would do it.
I think Levy might do that.
If there's anybody that would do it, it's Lizard Man. But at that point, it's just one game. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just
but didn't
take it into the summer, get it done after the 38th game, and then conclude your manager search really quick. You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter.
Because the point of doing it. The point of doing it with a couple weeks left is so that you can start your search and that you've got a manager at the beginning of the summer. So whether you do it, you're not really doing yourself any favor by saving yourself a week.
Not even
a week. Not even a week. You're not yet. Just let them coach the other game, and then you're not getting a head start in 3 days. So,
but didn't sorry. This is what I said, that Andrew was only safe because he was in a tournament. And so he got to bring the trophy home to stay in his seat. Like that was that. I think I said that when y'all were like the season was tanking.
It would also be the most Lizard Man thing of all time.
That's what I'm saying.
That if Tottenham win the trophy, to still fire him. That would be the most Lizard Man. That would be the most Lizard Levy thing I've ever heard. Other than that would only supplant in the list of the most Lizard Man things. The thing it's going above on the number one on the list is firing Jose Mourinho, the undefeated man in finals 3 days before a final. At that time, he was undefeated in finals. He is no longer, by the way.
That's because Anthony Taylor screwed him over, right?
Or was terrible referee.
Yeah, he lost. 100%. What he lost 100%. With Roma in a Conference League final.
Yeah,
I think.
No, in a Europa League final, sir.
Oh yes, the Europa League final. Yeah, with Roma.
So, all right.
Big finger wags from Josie on that.
Gun to your head, Sean. Who are the 3 teams that make it into the Champions League, joining Liverpool and Arsenal? I think 2 of them are easy.
I would like to see Forest, Villa, Chelsea.
That's not possible.
Not possible? All right, so then it's got to be City. All right. Oh, because they play each other. Ah, shit. I mean, shoot. They play each other.
It's in a whole podcast about
was that wasn't
game. The Forest Chelsea game is all we've talked about in this podcast.
Yeah.
Besides Ange being
fired. I was just thinking of a way to get City out of there, but
that was the most red card radio thing that we've done in a long time.
Who was the broadcaster that picked France to win of a game that he already picked France to lose or something like that when they were doing the World Cup? Something ridiculous.
Remember. Brad, who do you have? Who are the 3 for you, Brad?
It's City, United, Chelsea.
Okay, and when you say United, you mean Newcastle United.
Newcastle, sorry.
Because colloquially, we agreed that United. We talked to Joel about this, and colloquially, United means Manchester United.
I was rubbing my eyes, and
another
I looked at
team,
United.
Another team that can't make it.
Yes. Well, no, they can. They could have, but spoiler free.
Okay. I think it's gonna be City, United, and Aston Villa. Those are my three teams that I think are gonna make it.
Yeah, that's because you want Chelsea to lose.
Oh, absolutely, Brad.
I know this
I'm
has
gonna be. I'm gonna
nothing
be.
to do with that Chelsea's going to beat Forest, and that like that's the highest probability of that match. This has everything to do with James hates Chelsea.
I'm gonna be sitting in your house, being respectful of the fact that you're a Chelsea fan, but just secretly eating my cucumbers, just being happy in the corner that Chelsea are suffering. Sad that my friend is upset, but happy that Chelsea are suffering.
That's when the whiskey comes out, right?
Maybe we'll see. If you hear about a terrible accident, and Sean's the only one on the podcast, it's gonna be Sean and Jimmy. Sean, Jimmy, and Tamzid are the permanent hosts of Red Card Radio because Brad burned down the house, unfortunately, or something. No, nothing bad's gonna happen. We're done. Enjoy the football this weekend. We'll be back next week. We'll do a review, and we'll do a whole. We'll tie a bow on all of your picks for the year. If you want to do picks for this weekend, put them in our Discord. They're in the description of this video or this podcast, and we'll add you to the spreadsheet. We'll see what kind of pick percentage you have off of 10 games. Maybe you're a savant and you get all 10 correct, and then we will give you the fake award of being the highest pick percentage. But we'll go over all that next week when we break everything down. Watch some football this weekend. Enjoy it because it's going to be gone soon. So that's all we got. That guy's at KS Bradg. Whiteheart_Sean is down below. I am at James Tiffany. Collectively, we are at Redcard_Radio. And we'll be back next week. Hope you enjoy the football this weekend, and we will talk to you soon.